everybody, and welcome to our Week 8 recap update. Recap of Week 7 and update of Week 8 for the Fundamentals WNBA League. I'm one of your hosts, Matt. We have Tommy in studio as well as Mike, but we do not have cameras currently. It's been a busy day. So let's just get right into it. Anything from you two?
I'm driving.
Mike?
R.I.P. George.
R.I.P. George. We'll get to that in a moment. So let's just jump right into this thing as usual. Sorry, the lack of preparedness on our part. So first up, Brian's obviously not here, so I'm going to be going over our recap. First up, we had Team Leave Brittany Alone versus Team Aurora's Own Troy Bolton. That was a final ending 516 to 455. We had 117 points out of Aja Wilson, 96 points out of Gray, and 74 points out of Onionware. And then for Aurora's Own Troy Bolton, we had a Howard with 121 points, a different Gray with 103 points, and Ogua Mike, Kobe Bryant's alien baby, with 74 points. Next up, Team I Miss Mabry, with the win over Team This Is George, R.I.P. George. 456 points to 338 points. We had Brittany Griner with 103 points leading way for Team I Miss Mabry, while we had Collier over for This Is George putting up 116 points. So solid effort out of Collier, but not enough to bring his team to a win with all those injuries. Next up, we have Hidden Valley Ranch with the almost 300-point win over Team Basket No Balls. Of course, Howard leading the way for Team Hidden Valley Ranch, with Parker leading Basket No Balls over there. Fourth, we have the Vanderscoots with the win over Never Gonna Give You Up Rick Rolled. 568 points for Vanderscoots, led by Young with 107 points. And then Brianna Stewart with 114 points for Team Never Gonna Give You Up Rick Rolled, but not enough for the win there as well. And lastly, we have It's a Me Mario with the win over Connor Bedard is going pro. It's a Me Mario had 100, Ogun Bole, Onion Bowl with 109 points, and Tarazi with 76 points for Connor Bedard, but of course that was not enough for the win there as well. Next up, we have our standings over in the west, or in the east, excuse me. We have still leading with a lock in the playoffs for the Vanderscoots. 100% playoff chance, still undefeated there, so that's great to see. Two-way tie for second place between Aurora's Own Troy Bolton and Hidden Valley Ranch, both sitting at 5-2, so that's a big jump up from where they were. Both of them just been on a tear lately, but still two games behind from second place, but so close to that lock for the playoffs. Where were we? We're back again. Sorry about that. It's a me, Mario, sitting at 3-4 in fourth place, but still looking good for the playoffs. 78% chance there, and of course in last is Team This Is George, sitting at 1-6 with a 1% playoff chance. So it's pretty much impossible for him to make the playoffs now. Over in the West, we have leading Team Leave Britney Alone, sitting at 6-1. With also a lock over in the West there, so that's great to see. In second place, we have Team I Miss Mabry, sitting at 4-3 with a 98% chance of making the playoffs. So also so close to that lock. In third place, we have Never Gonna Give You Up Rick Rolls, sitting at 2-5 with a 21% playoff chance, and then sitting tied for fourth is Connor Bedard is going. And Basket No Balls both sitting at 1-6 with a 3-2% playoff chance odds there for them. Next up, we're gonna have Tommy with our Making Moves with Tommy segment. Tommy,
all right.
after you.
Thank you, Beagle. Can you just remind me of what players were traded in the past? Well, I guess it'll be the week of the past matchup. We had a trade between the Vanderscoot and the Never Gonna Give You Up Rick Roll, and it was really what we had there was a swap of a guard for a forward and a guard for a forward. So on one end, a definite upgrade for a guard. On the other, a upgrade of a forward. The guard, of course, being Cooper, and the forward and guard going towards Rex would be Heineman and Turner. Is that correct, Beagle?
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Turner and Heidemann for Copper and Carlton.
Yeah, so the forward being sent back to the Vanderscoot has already been dropped, is available, so if anyone's interested in that player, have fun. But I was able to actually pick up Gabby Williams, had been sitting on my IR and has returned to play. So it looks like I could come out on top, but I also had to give up a player here in Turner and Heineman. Turner has been up and down. Heineman started off strong and has kind of tapered out a little bit lately, but still has been showing flashes here and there of definite skill. I do think that they will both rebound, and this will come out to a closer to even trade. But I do think short-term Cooper is definitely a better player. If we look at the scores from last week, it looks like, I believe, 32 points, if I'm not mistaken, scored between Heineman and Turner for Team Rex, while 22 points, and 32 for Cooper, as well as an additional 14 from that one player that was dropped, but she was benched at that time, so 0 of those points actually counted towards my score for the week. We were playing each other, so the results kind of spoke for themselves there. I did absolutely slaughter one by the end of the week, and it was not close. So I do think it'll pick up for him as far as a closer to even trade, but I am going to declare myself a short-term winner of that trade. Back to you, Beagle.
Perfect, thanks. Next, we're going to go over to Mike with our predictions. Go ahead, Mike.
Alrighty, so the records stand currently: Tommy 28-7, Brian 27-8, I'm at 24-6, and Matt is 30-5. We almost had a clean sweep last weekend, but last week. But Tommy predicted Alicia instead of Leave Britney Alone. Close one though. Alright, so first up, it's Team This Is George versus Leave Britney Alone. Tommy?
Well, this was never really going to be a close matchup as far as just Leave Britney Alone having the much higher caliber team. But with George's unfortunate recent passing, it does guarantee that he will not be making moves. Not that he was going into that matchup or really into the season at all. But that lack of moves, lack of talent, it's got to go Leave Britney Alone this week.
Brian's this week's going to say Team This Is George. I am also going to say this week it's going to be Team This Is George in honor of George. Matt, who you got?
You had to leave Brittany alone on there.
No, I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, well, I clicked the wrong thing. All right. Anyway, so yeah, it's as we've said. Sadly, team owner George of Team This Is George did pass away, which is why this episode's coming out so late to you guys. But although he's passed away, I would like to vote for him in honor. But of course, it's kind of hard to lose to someone who wasn't making any moves as it was before. So I am going to go ahead and go with Team Leave Brittany Alone.
Check. Yep. All right, moving on. I gotta get out of here quick. So I'm just gonna read off the predictions. Next matchup is Hidden Valley Ranch versus I Miss Mayberry. Tommy and Matt have I Miss Mayberry, and Brian and myself have Hidden Valley Ranch. Then it's the Vanderscoots versus my team, Baskino Balls. Everybody says the Vanderscoots are going to win that one.
Hey, way to be confident in yourself there, Mike.
You're welcome. Next up, it is it's a me, Mario, versus Never Gonna Give You Up, Rickrolled. Tommy and Matt are saying Rickrolled's going to win this one. Brian.
Yeah, I think with this one, what it's going to come down to is really a Sunday matchup. Looking at the teams in a little bit of closer detail, we could see that I do think that Mario actually has a better team on paper. However, if you look back at his history over this week, and this being a 2-week matchup last week as well, Mario has not been setting his lineup, and as of Monday had, I believe, 9 players that would have been benched for potential points. So it's going to come down to Sunday, but I think it's going to be close. Got to give it to Juan this time around. Props to him for setting that lineup.
Yep. Props to him. He's currently, at this moment, leading by 99 points against It's a Me Mario. A couple games playing today, but it doesn't look like Mario's going to get any kind of points today. So
me and Brian are going to disagree with you both and say it's going to be It's a Mario.
Yeah, you guys picked George too, so.
Yeah, well. And then Alicia versus Why Is This a League? I'm sorry, Aurora's Own Troy Bolton versus Team Why Is This a League? Everybody has Alicia's. Oh, I'm sorry, Aurora's Own Troy Bolton.
Aurora's Own Troy Bolton.
Any comments on that?
I think we got it in the bag this week.
Okay,
right.
Sounds good.
So that was our call-in segment for the week. I don't think we're going to be doing any call-ins today because we are having a little bit of a rushed episode here
Did you say we're gay?
Hello? No.
What? Nobody said what? So we're in a little bit of a rush here.
Fucking Commander.
This week. And anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and move on to our last ending here for the week. We do have a bit of a change up in the ending of the episode. Just a little memorial once again for the sudden passing of George. It's been a tough week for all of us here in the league, but we hope he rests in peace and all his family and friends are doing well. So from there, we're going to sign out. Any last remarks from you guys?
Yeah,
rest in peace, George.
Rest in peace, George. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good week next week. Goodbye.